Hello, everyone. What is going on? My name is Timpedia, and welcome back to the TNT Podcast, episode 72. Now that I'm not staring at the live stream.
Were we 70 or 71 last week?
I thought it was 71 last week.
Let's find out as we introduce ourselves.
All right. Anyway,
like always.
on my right,
It's Friedman, also known as Andrew, but mostly known as Friedman.
and on my left,
It's just Tyler, but also known as Adjust Glasses, Big TV Anime Expert. Yeah.
And it's episode 72.
yes,
there
I
we
was
go.
right. I knew it. Yeah.
Good
Alrighty, we are going back for this week to non-live streamed version, just because we're bouncing around, but should be the same. Well, I was gonna say quality content, but we all know that's not.
We all know
That's not what this is.
We all know. Y'all know. We all know.
But we are just gonna jump right in, and unfortunately, Tyler's gonna go to sleep. But this is kind of a big deal. It was kind of a big weekend.
And it's funny because this episode is episode 72. You know what half of that is? It's 36, the number of planeswalkers in the new Magic the Gathering set.
That's fucking funny.
God.
Oh my god. So, this weekend was PAX East, I think. There's so many.
Oh, yeah, I
PAX
think so.
East?
No,
I thought you
PAX
said Weast.
God damn it.
But PAX East was this weekend, and Wizards of the Coast had a big panel where they blew the doors off of War of the Spark, which is the next set coming, the whole culmination of the Nicol Bolas storyline and everything.
The Infinity Wars of Magic the Gathering.
But really though, but we got lots of news about it. 36 planeswalkers in the set, which is an insanely high number. They're going all the way down to uncommon. You can see that Dominaria, like everyone thought, was really the test for a system like this. Or they got the idea from how Dominaria went. They were like, let's do what Legend with Planeswalkers, what we do with Legendaries.
I'm pretty sure it's once they were able to execute that properly, like, yeah, we could do the same thing with Planeswalkers. Let's give it a shot. And so far, it looks like a good push.
So Planeswalkers this time around, up until now, Planeswalkers followed a pretty similar formula. They would have anywhere from 2 to 4, or in the case of like a Flipwalker, 5 abilities. They would all tick up or go down, and they had a loyalty, and that was it. And they just had activated abilities. For this set, to fill out the ranks of rare and uncommon planeswalkers, but they're applying it to the 3 mythic, well, actually 4 with the box topper, 4 mythic planeswalkers as well. Planeswalkers, these ones at least, now have activated abilities with their loyalty and triggered or passive abilities that act like enchantments, which is actually a huge design change. This is pretty big that they're unlocking this new design space for planeswalkers.
I think it's just for this set. So at first I thought it was going to be that like static ability was for anything that wasn't mythic, but then they showed off the Nicol Bolas card, and he still has one. So it might just be
that was not shown off yet, Friedman. But we'll get that's another part. No, that's that part. We know what it is. We've seen it, but it wasn't spoiled
there was a spoiler
yet.
thread for it, so I thought it was a real one. But all right.
Wait, what?
There was a specific thread for it outside of the leak, so I figured it had actually.
Was there
spoiled.
really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But it may have just been like a leak thread.
I thought it was just the image. I don't know. Either way, we'll get to that in a minute.
Point is, this is new design space. I'm not I haven't seen anything that indicates like this is something going forward. It may just be for the set to keep like a common theme, because for a lot of the uncommon planeswalkers, so I think there's 10 of them, one in each like color duo, using hybrid mana. All of them have only minus abilities, but their minuses won't kill them. So that after you use their minuses, they'll kind of stick around like an enchantment with a static ability.
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't even think of that. Damn.
Yeah, so that's how all of them work. So I think they're definitely going to leverage this going forward. I don't know if it's like the new standard for planeswalkers, because it kind of invades the territory of what enchantments are for in the game.
Well, it also, they all synergize with their own minus. Like, all the uncommon planeswalkers have 1 minus ability, like you said, and it synergizes with their passive ability, but they also kind of help deck building. It's kind of cool to just have, it's almost a pathway to a more active enchantment. It's like, because enchantments rarely have activated abilities. So it's like, hey, Why don't we just staple those onto planeswalkers? Ha ha ha.
It also introduces some interactivity with enchantments. You don't have to run like designated enchantment removal. You can just air quotes attack their enchantment,
attack
which
the
happens
enchantment.
to be a planeswalker.
I don't know. We don't need to. We're not going to go card by card or anything like that. There's been lots of spoilers over the first few days. Overall, while I don't think I found a single card for any of my commander decks yet. There is a lot of really cool stuff. Atraxa is up to $60, by the way, Friedman.
Not surprised in the slightest.
Goodness.
Yeah, she's the 4-color commander who's been at the top of EDHREC's popularity for years now since she came out, but she's the 4-color, every color except red angel who proliferates at the end of the turn, which is actually the only returning mechanic in the set, and it literally just buffs planeswalkers. So
what does that mean?
You know how planeswalkers have a loyalty counter?
Reads that when you proliferate, choose any number of permanents or players that have a counter on them, put another one of those counters. Except I think they changed the rules now. It's put one of all counters on them.
So that if things have multiple counter types on them, there's no confusion. They all get another one. But the idea is that
get a new loyalty counter. Stuff with 1/1 counters get more 1/1s. If you're playing one of the experience counter commanders, you get another one of those. I take advantage of that in most of my decks.
Yeah, there's a reason Atraxa is the most popular commander ever, because she is so open-ended, because you can go, like Freeman said, 1/1 counters, experience counters, planeswalkers, just general value, angel tribal, all these things. And she was already from the last commander set, the 4-color one that had the unfortunately small print run.
I still don't know what they were thinking.
Her box, Tyler, unopened. I'm pretty sure the deck is about $200 to buy a new copy of that deck in the box right now. Which is, compared to other commander decks, all of the 4 colors are a lot. Like Brea's also up there, but Atraxa is, and it also has lots of good cards. Anyway, so between proliferate cards coming and 36 new planeswalkers, Atraxa got lots of new toys. Yeah. I personally, like I said, haven't found anything interesting yet, but we're only on day 3 since PAX. But there are 2 kind of sub things to talk about a little bit with the Magic news. Tyler, I don't even know if you saw this, but apparently it actually hit number 4 trending on YouTube for a little while. Wizards.
I didn't see it.
So Wizards for years now has put out trailers for sets that are coming out, and I don't know if you've ever seen one, Tyler. Probably not, but
usually they're not that great.
Usually they're just animated card art. They like take some of the art, and it's usually like the digital art, and they kind of just warp it. You know how people animate like the 2D images to kind of like add wavy hair just by moving the hair and stuff?
Yeah.
They're not.
That was what their trailers used to be like.
Yeah, they're not terrible, but they have like a little bit of cool editing and stuff, but mostly they're just, hey, this is card art that we animated.
Yeah.
Then War of the Spark comes out.
Oh, was it like...
And you start this trailer. Tyler, remember when Old Republic was coming out? Those Star Wars trailers that they made? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Vaguely.
Those like Blur Studios trailers, the guys who redid Halo.
Oh, yeah.
This trailer, it opens up, and all you see is Nicol Bolas in front of this fucking portal thing.
Oh, geez.
And your jaw hits the fucking floor. This trailer is like, it's like Marvel level animation quality. Not quite that good, but it's downright gorgeous. This is like, Freeman, you'll probably get this. This is what League of Legends videos when they really go all out on their animation.
This is a like quality CG animation.
This is something Wizards has never. This is something we've absolutely never seen from Wizards in history, and it was honestly a little. I don't want to say it was like a tearjerker or anything. It's not a happy trailer. But it gets you a little bit.
There's one thing I want to add on here. Their peculiar choice of music.
Is it peculiar though? It actually works really well.
I'm listening through it, and the entire time I'm just sitting here, I'm like, this piano line sounds a lot like "In the End" by Linkin Park.
Oh God!
It's like unmistakably close. And then halfway through the lyrics again, you realize it's a cover. But the thing is,
Mhm.
Linkin Park has like become synonymous with AMVs.
Yeah.
So the second I realized, I'm like, oh my god, this is just like a professional grade Magic the Gathering AMV we're watching for this trailer, which isn't a bad thing. It's just that's all I could think about.
Yeah, the music's a little on the nose, but honestly, after I actually liked the trailer enough to want to go listen to that remix, and honestly, the remix, as soon as it got to the heavier stuff, sounded kind of like crap. They really edited only the really mellow parts out, and it really works as this really somber trailer. The trailer actually tells the story of War of the Spark like shockingly well in 2 minutes, Freeman.
Straight up characters dying left and right in this
My
trailer.
boy, Dak Attack
Dude, Dak
gets
Faden's
fucking
just
killed. Tyler, remember Dak Faden, my planeswalker?
Yes.
Dude,
yes.
he gets killed in the trailer.
Dang!
He doesn't even he doesn't even have a card in the set. We already know that. And in the trailer it's like so they made this really interesting choice where the first half of the trailer is actually time going backwards. And you literally see it looks like the story of War of the Spark, or from descriptions we've heard. This zombie army from Amonkhet is showing up on Ravnica, and these zombies are sucking the sparks out of planeswalkers and like sending them to Nicol Bolas for this giant spell to make him a god or whatever. The trailer's winding backwards, and you see one of the sparks come back to this zombie, and then its head unexplodes, and then dropping up from the floor where he dropped dead is Dak Faden reaching out for Liliana. In the I'm like, oh my god, that was Dak. No.
Damn.
So then you play it in reverse, and you just see Dak gets stabbed in the back, then his spark ripped out, and then he just drops down, and everyone's like, well, I guess he's dead.
Damn. Well. So much for that.
But the trailer has honestly a lot of really good stuff. Like the music choice really fits. Basically, the trailer is just Liliana watching the death in reverse of an older sister and younger brother, and it parallels her story. And then she does, Freeman, I don't know if you noticed, she does the Oath of the Gatewatch sign.
Yeah, Liliana's oath symbol.
Which is fucking great. And then she sends her army to attack Nicol Bolas. She changes sides in the trailer. And the greatest bit is right at the end when Nicol Bolas sees that she's doing this. And Tyler, you've seen Liliana. She has all those lines and tattoos all over her body.
Mm-hmm.
Those are.
I'm gonna look her up though. Real quick.
That's fine. You'll know you'll see what I mean immediately. Those are from her backstory is that she had contracts with 4 demons that gave her like basically immortality and power. And her goal for a long time was to kill them all to she thought to get out of her contract but keep her power. Well, back in Dominaria last year, she killed the last one, and then Nicol Bolas comes up to her and is like, well, your contract's in default. Now I own you. Whoops. And so that's why her turning against him is this whole big thing. And he sees that she's doing this, and so he starts burning the tattoos off of her with magic. And the whole time she's standing there still commanding these zombies, and the end of the trailer is just her screaming, and whoever did the voice acting did an amazing job. It's this gut-wrenching scream as you're watching her burn from these tattoos. You should watch the trailer after this, Tyler. It's pretty worth it, but I know I just spoiled the whole thing, but it's really fucking great.
Damn.
But also, there's one other minor Magic thing tied to this, because Sunday was their big panel at PAX where they showed the trailer and they did a bunch of the early spoilers. Then cut to just hours later, and someone Magic Online is Magic's old online play program. It's not Arena, the fancy new thing. It's where you can play everything that's not standard. And they have a beta program that I guess people are in. The comments made me think that's where this came from. But someone posted a screenshot of about 14 unspoiled cards from the set, including the new Nicol Bolas card and the new Gideon card, which were the 2 mythics that hadn't been spoiled yet.
Wow.
And it's like, are you fucking kidding me? How is this possible? I know I said we weren't talking about cards. This Nicol Bolas is actually the most crazy planeswalker that's ever been printed because he has the text, "I have the abilities of every planeswalker on the field."
It's a little out there.
It's a little much. It's kind of one of the craziest cards I've ever seen, but it also has the most crazy casting cost I've ever seen.
It has a very specific casting cost that's not always easy to hit on turn 5.
Blue, red, black, black, black. That's the most specific casting cost I've ever seen.
Not in anytime soon.
Yeah, we were hitting 15 minutes on Magic, but honestly, outside of the leaks, which sucks, but they were also confirmed later when the Jace card was spoiled and it matched perfectly. My boy Ral doesn't have a great card, unfortunately. But honestly, I don't know how much War I'm going to use or play, but if that trailer's anything to go on, maybe the Magic movie isn't going to be a pile of shit, because Nicol Bolas, I don't think I said this, Nicol Bolas in the trailer has never looked better on any card art or anything.
As long as I can keep him away from the pug face, I'm happy to see him.
But anyway, we can cross the let's cross the ocean for a hot second, Freeman.
Let's dip into Japan for a little bit. So
for a little bit.
So this is some interesting news I saw this week. So the announcement was that Tetsuya Nomura, who's been directing Final Fantasy VII Remake, is now only going to be the co-director of the game, and someone else is stepping in.
Right.
And there's a lot of speculation about what this meant, about whether Square Enix is losing faith in Nomura's ability to direct a game. But it came out later in the week that Nomura was like, well, I didn't want to be the only director in this game. And there was a story that went around early on, right after Seven's announcement, was that Nomura didn't know he was the director of the game.
Oh, yeah, until the initial preview trailer, right?
So, yeah, so it wasn't that he didn't know he was the director. It's that he didn't know he was the only director. So the director of Final Fantasy VII still works at Square Enix. So his impression was that the original director was going to direct the remake, and he was going to be one of the executive producers and still be on the project. But this all got announced while he was in the first year of development on Kingdom Hearts 3, so he wasn't focusing on it. But then they announced internally he would be the director, told him, hey, you're directing 7. He goes, yeah, I know, I'm directing with X, Y, and Z people. And no one corrected him. So he went around going, assuming that he wasn't the full director of the game. And then everyone's like, hey, where's the director's report? He's like, I don't know, I'm not the director.
Geez.
And they're like, yeah, you are. And he's like, I am. So they told him, you're the only director of this game, and just the original director is just a supervisor. She's like, oh, that's unusual. So he didn't really plan to do any work on it until after Kingdom Hearts 3 release. That's right around now. And now he's settled on co-directing with one other person at Square Enix. So that's where we are with Final Fantasy VII-R.
Do we know who the other director is?
Yes. I will tell you shortly.
I mean, I'm not worried about who it is. The way you were phrasing it, I wasn't sure if it was actually known knowledge.
No, it is. I'm not going to give you the name because that means nothing. I want to tell you what he worked on.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for.
All right, so here's the part where it gets a little iffy. So,
uh-oh. Why would you
all
say
of his
this?
experience is he was lead on most of the Final Fantasy 13 trilogy. He was the main programmer for Lightning Returns, lead app programmer for 13-2.
I mean, can you really lay anything that's... I mean, honest question. Was 13 really that bad outside of a lot of the story stuff?
No,
I mean, mechanically, I thought the game was fine. It was a different Final Fantasy, but it was...
Yeah, I thought the combat was fine.
That's why when you say
yeah.
lead programmer, that doesn't feel like someone who contributed to 13 being possibly not very good.
No, but I also don't think he has direction experience. But at the same time,
that's fair.
Final Fantasy VII is not a game where you have to write the story. If anything, you need to be able to write your cutscenes. And if I'll hand one thing to Nomura, he knows how to plan out a cutscene, just not an overarching storyline. So if he's already got the storyline to work with, I think the cinematic aspect of 7's probably going to be great. They just need to nail the gameplay.
Uh-huh.
And an actual timeline.
That's good.
But I think that's it for this news story. We'll hear about Final Fantasy VII in 2024 when we get the first gameplay trailer,
along with Kingdom Hearts 4.
Yeah, don't.
He's going to be working on.
Don't mess with me like that. I want this to happen.
I forgot about because the middle games always came out pretty regularly, right? It was just that the actual numbered ones took 10 years.
Yeah, it was like maybe I think roughly 2 years between games until they went from Dream Drop into Kingdom Hearts 3, and then that was 5 years.
Wow, it was that long? Holy shit.
Well, they didn't announce anything for 2 years because he was doing 15 at the time.
Oh, right.
Or sorry, he was doing Versus 13 for a while.
It's so funny though to think one person, the director, is off doing something else, so there's not much like the team. I guess the team just works on something else.
Yeah.
Actually, was it the same team at Square Enix that made all the games across platforms?
You're talking for Kingdom Hearts?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. So the Tokyo team worked on Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and I don't think they did Chain of Memories. But the Osaka team traditionally did a lot of their mobile games. I know they did Chain of Memories. They did my favorite Nintendo DS RPG, The World Ends With You. And they did almost all of the Kingdom Hearts spin-off games, which everyone has their own complaints about it because it's just what the Osaka team does. So when Kingdom Hearts 3 got announced, everyone's like, okay, it's finally going back to Tokyo. It's going to be great. They're like, no, the Osaka team is definitively the Kingdom Hearts team now. They're going to do Kingdom Hearts 3. Everyone's like, Jesus, this game's going to be floaty as hell. So that was a big concern. The game ended up being kind of floaty, but not that bad compared to like Dream Drop Distance. But it sounds like they're the definitive Kingdom Hearts team.
Huh.
And Tokyo's doing all the big projects.
My God.
But they did announce they're forming a third main production team that is now up and running on a unannounced HD home console RPG. So we'll
What does
hear about
HD
that.
even mean these days?
Like a 4K game, not like
4K.
what's it called? Because like
Not
if you go by that
1080p.
definition, someone would say, "Oh well, Octopath Traveler was a full console RPG that ran in like 720p."
Yeah, but that's technically HD is 720p.
Yeah.
Okay, they're working on the next Final Fantasy 15.
Okay. Wait, 15?
Presumed to be named Final Fantasy 16, but you never know.
Yeah, why would they make 15? I thought 15
I mean,
was
in
like...
terms of quality,
Meh.
they're not remaking 15.
I didn't think they were. I thought you made it
I-
sound like it was going to be 15 too.
Hey, you
And
never
that's
know.
why. But that's
There
why I
might
was
be.
like, hey, they canceled the DLC. Why would they make 15 too?
Yo, if
Let
they
me,
did,
all right, let me
if
clear what I was trying to say here. They're making a game at Final Fantasy 15's level. It may not be a Final Fantasy game,
Gotcha.
but it's definitely a high-quality console RPG and totally not a handheld gacha game like that game they just showed off yesterday,
Jesus.
whose name I don't remember.
His
'Cause
name
fuck
you already
playing
forgot.
gacha
Maybe
games.
don't
I'm not doing
wanna
this again.
remember. You
Let's
don't
talk about some
wanna
non-gacha games.
Ooh boy.
So still on the island of Japan, Sega has realized, man, everyone is selling these tiny ass emulator boxes.
Yep.
But
We should do it
why?
too. So they announced the
Why,
Sega
though?
Genesis Mini. And we're kind of in spoiler season for Magic. We're also in spoiler season for the Genesis Mini because they didn't show off all the games at once. They showed off 10 of the 40
Yeah,
games
right.
and then they announced the trailer and said they would announce the rest at a later date. But of the 10 on those lists, I think Sonic 2 and like Gunstar Hero is the only ones that I'm actually like would want to play again.
That's the thing. That's why these emulator boxes feel so stupid. Like,
It's $80 too. It's gonna be $80, 70, $80.
like, what are you honestly gaining by putting like 20 games on this
Here's
system?
the thing: you can buy an almost new Sega Genesis for like $30 at multiple stores.
Yes.
But Friedman, to be perfectly honest, I'd probably buy the emulator because fuck, I hate how much stuff is in this house as is.
Oh shit! They have Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine on here.
Like,
Oh my God.
They got Echo the Dolphin, Castlevania Bloodlines.
you know what would earn so much money if you made an emulator box that had a store. Doesn't have to have achievements or anything. Just have a wire. But then you're getting into like having the.
It's called the
you're getting into
Nintendo
all this
Virtual
other stuff.
Console.
I know, but it just feels
Yeah.
stupid to have it like this.
Oh, 100%. That's why I'm not buying this.
Well,
I like the idea, but
oh,
like throw 200 games on it. Who cares?
because they can, because of copyright.
But
Reasons.
no one's going to
License.
want to buy this shit again. No one's going to buy the Genesis Mini 2, so you're getting it's either these 20 games or fuck you.
The problem is it's pandering to nostalgia. I think we had this discussion is that the people who are going to buy it
Yeah.
aren't the type who give a shit about this. And the people who do give a shit aren't going to buy this. Like, we're not their
No,
target
but,
audience
like,
with this.
It's because you want to have a
Like
thing in
what?
stores for the for the parent who doesn't know.
Yeah, the
Yes.
parents who don't know. That's who the real target is.
Man, every time something like this happens, I'm like, man, if I ever get to be a parent, I don't want to be the kind of parent who doesn't know, who walks into a store and is like, why am I here? I just want a thing that my child will like.
Well,
Look, I'm not buying my kid the Nintendo Wii Mini. I'm just gonna break my Nintendo Wii out and say, "Here, go play."
Well, but see the
right,
thing.
Number one,
No.
implying that I will bring out my own Nintendo. Was it? And not give the little shit his own to break.
Well, but the other thing is, like, our parents, or well, not our parents, but these parents, they probably had the same thought. That's what worries me, because everything in life is such a cycle. Like, I'm like, oh no, am I gonna end up like that where I just don't feel like looking into it and I just walk? I just never see myself walking into a store and being like, oh, my child likes this. What do I buy?
Yeah, you probably
not in the era of Amazon.
Yeah, but then you just go on Amazon and buy the first thing that comes up when you search for something, because that's what I do a lot of the time.
Yes, that's exactly what we're gonna be like.
Yeah, but that means we're the same. That means the cycle of life and death continues.
I mean, think about it, right? This new, oh man, like I listened to Hot 97 this morning. They're like, all right, let's listen to Little Uzi Vert, and I'm like, what the fuck is this garbage?
We're already old.
Where's my 50 Cent? Where's my Nas? Like, I don't like this new stuff. It's new. It sounds like garbage.
It's okay. Drake's been around forever, Tyler.
Drake's all right though. I can get behind Drake a little bit. You used to call me on my, that Wii Shop joint though.
That whole video is a giant meme factory.
Yeah, it was great. Literally from beginning to end. Actually, of all the parts that were in there, there's like all the memes that were made of that video. No girls were in any of the memes. It was all Drake.
It was all just that one 30-second sequence of him doing that weird ass dance in that cube.
It's amazing. Oh
all right.
My gosh.
Anyway,
shall we move on?
Yeah, sure. We'll stay. We'll go with another gaming company that's been around for all time.
All right, so Nintendo is having a Smash Direct on August 4th. I think they had announced this one during...
What? Didn't they have a...
They had a general Nintendo Direct.
Freeman, I'm going to need you to back it up and name that date again.
April 4th? What did I say, August 4th?
Yeah, you said August.
Sorry, 4th, there are a lot. That letter A confuses me.
I was like, wow, they're announcing this Direct really far in advance.
They had a Direct yesterday.
Right, let's all to the order.
Did you watch it?
I did watch
that
it.
April Fool's shit.
Because I saw the announcement, I'm like, this can't be real. This sounds fake. Like, because the problem is, I was very aware of what day it was, that I just ignored everything I saw.
Yeah,
so I saw it, I'm like, I'll just wait 24 hours and wait for like some random news site to tell me what Nintendo was goofing off with today.
Oh, dude, you know what was great? Seeing a Reddit thread today of a guy from Today I Fucked Up, and it was Today I Fucked Up, going over thinking my brother-in-law's divorce, or my sister or somebody's divorce was an April Fool's joke.
Damn.
It's this guy who's like, yeah, my family brought me and my wife over for a family emergency, and they had this whole scene where like my sister or something was getting divorced, and I started laughing in a silence and saying good prank, and everybody tore me a new one, and I was just like, jeez, dude, this is why April Fool's is kind of shitty. Like,
yeah, I hate it.
Can April Fool's Day just become Internet Fake Day? Because like in real life,
it's already lie on the internet day.
That's why. Never mind. Keep
anyway,
going.
So but outside of Nintendo's fake Direct, which we'll get to later, they're having a real Direct on Thursday. They had announced during their last general Direct, they had given a date for a patch and said, we'll talk to you again on April 4th for the next Direct. They've already queued up a patch for Smash. The question is Joker from Persona 5 going to be in it, or are they finally going to show us the gameplay footage? Because we've now had like 4 Directs since he was announced with nothing shown.
I was gonna say it's been a minute.
It's been a hot minute, and everyone's dying for this character because he'll be the first DLC 4 months after it came out, not counting Piranha Plant. But yeah, I'm excited to see what happens. Regardless, there is a patch, so it's probably going to shake up the meta if there's any balance changes in it.
Wahoo!
That's something I'm not used to saying about Smash, is talking about the balance, the meta changing. It's just, it feels foreign. compared to
It's
like
just-
watching the Melee tiers stay mostly the same, except for when Jigglypuff started making an appearance. But since I mentioned Joker from Persona 5,
oh,
just gonna
jeez.
steamroll right into it. So,
Here we go.
no, the letter's supposed to be different. So, last I think it was a week or 2 weeks ago, the Persona 5 team teases a date for an announcement, and then on the date of that announcement, they showed a very brief trailer of what looked like a new Persona 5 character. Getting asked like, "What do you think of the Phantom Thieves?" And she's just like, "I fucking hate them." And it zooms in on like a silhouette of her, and then the title shows up, Persona 5 Royal, which everyone is assuming it's gonna be a lot like Persona 4 Golden, where like it's an enhanced remake that has another character plot line in it. I feel like we brought this up because I remember telling you guys I don't know if I have the time or energy to play another 150 hours of Persona 5.
I feel like you did say that, but I don't actually. I thought this announcement was. Never mind.
That announcement was a little while ago, and everyone was really upset because it meant that Persona 5 was not coming to Switch. But then it happens, and they go and they tease that stay tuned for an announcement regarding Persona 5S. So the speculation is on.
See,
again.
okay, because I do
Persona
remember
5
Royal.
Switch? And then it was like, oh, is it Persona 5 for Xbox One S? And everyone's like, that can't be it because it came out on regular PS4. So everyone's already like flipping out. The Persona community is just like, oh, geez, it's happening again. And the same thing happened with Persona 4, where Persona 4 came out in like 2008, and then it was just sequels and remakes for the next decade until 5 happened. And we're now entering that stage. We already had our dance game for Persona 5. I don't know if the fighting has been announced yet. We just got Persona Q2, which has Persona 5 characters. We now have our enhanced remake with new waifu included, and now we don't know what S is going to be. Point is,
there's so many letters
because they finally aired the finale of the anime last weekend as part of this media blitz. So I need to go watch that last 45-minute episode. But Alice is milking it, and the entire community is just very upset that there's only Persona 5 news and there's no other franchises they're talking about. So yeah, that's what's going on in Persona 5 land.
Persona A, B, X, Y, Z.
I just want them to remake Persona 2.
Persona 365 over 2.
Get the fuck out of
here. Speaking getting over things.
Yeah,
April
we kind of
Fool's
touched
got
on
everybody.
it. Whoops.
We did. But I also
whoops.
wanted to... What's it called? Oh, no. I just wanted to be funny because Nintendo put out their April Fool's thing yesterday. And some of my coworkers got because it opens up with... I don't know what the dude's name is. But he's like, oh, yeah, you know, we're releasing all this new stuff for Nintendo. And they're just going through and, like, they're naming all the Zelda games that are coming out. And then it gets to the CDI games. And we're like, oh, ha, you're funny.
So... if we're doing April Fool's talk, did you guys see Donkey's video?
Yeah.
That direct was way too real.
Dude, only on the PlayStation 4. Up next.
Game on.
Too much.
Oh my god. Wait, you didn't see it yet?
I didn't see the Xbox Direct video yet. It's sitting in my watch queue.
That's amazing.
After the podcast, we should show Tyler the War of the Spark trailer, and then Freeman, you gotta watch. I'll happily watch it again. It is
up next. Game on.
Game on. Only on PlayStation 4.
Only on PlayStation 4.
It's a demo. It's just a demo.
Nuts and bolts. I can't.
Dragonborn is canceled.
Man.
Another really funny one. I know Freeman saw this, but Mother's Basement Shrek anime opening video.
Oh my god!
I think last year you did Corey in the house.
So the one thing that destroyed me in that Mother's Basement video that I had to pause and laugh it out before I could keep watching, when he does like a fake quote from like the director or something, the fake director that he assigned to it, and he's like, I always wondered where the green I can't even say it. It's like, I always wondered where the Grioni went and what it would look like for him to fuck. And when he said it so deadpan, and talking about Shrek, I just started fucking dying so much. But yeah, it was pretty funny. That's it.
I never saw a Mother's Basement video before.
Mm-hmm.
You guys talked about him a lot, and I like.
All right, hold on. You know what? We'll do an experiment. So when I first discovered him, he was still doing his very serious anime opening analysis videos. So we'll try and track down an opening you've either seen or one that we can just show you, and then show you like his exact breakdown of one of these openings. Just because he used to be very good at opening analyses. Now he's kind of given up on that and starts just like talking
Being
about the
a
industry
parody
in
of
general.
himself.
Well,
not always.
It also feels like he's also like one of those video essayists where it doesn't really cover like a specific thing. They just kind of do a video on whatever they want because they're popular enough to just get the views anyway, and they just stir up conversation.
Yeah, because sometimes whenever I hear you talk about him, Freeman, it's always like, eh.
So I like him. The problem is, so if you take his videos, Digibro, Joey the Anime Man, and then Giguk, and these are like the four horsemen of the Weepocalypse. Whatever they talk about defines whatever like the general anime discussion is going to be for the next week or so. And it gets kind of annoying because if one of them releases a video you don't agree with, congrats, no one's going to shut up about it for the next week. Especially Digibro. He's the guy who's like, I don't give a shit what anyone thinks. I'm going to say this very controversial statement. I'm going to make a 20-part video, all feature-length episodes that are 20 minutes long, about a 12-episode show complaining about why it's bad.
Oh my God.
Just the industry at large. And, you know, sometimes I'll agree with a lot of their points. Digi holds very controversial opinions, but roughly half of them I'll agree with. And with Mother's Basement, if he talks about something, I guarantee you the anime community is going to parrot that for a couple weeks. Like he did like 6 SAO videos in a row about why it was bad. The week he talked about slime, it exploded. It's just, he carries a lot of momentum in the discussion sphere, and sometimes the videos aren't the best, but I do generally like him.
I mean, he did that awesome anime lay about All Might versus All for One. That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was really good.
But yeah, I don't know. I don't watch everything he does, but just watching the April Fool's one was worth.
So I know you guys aren't too big in the dank meme space, but I gotta talk about how April Fools tore apart the meme community. So first talk about the tear apart, then I'll talk about how it reunited. But first of all, so do you guys know about the great anime memes and history memes war?
No.
Oh yeah, with the history Reddit was having
about 6 months ago, the history meme subreddit was starting to die out. So like, we need to go to war with the subreddit. Like, let's pick the anime meme subreddit. They seem really shitty, and they got fucking destroyed. We demolished their subreddit with memes. It was the greatest thing ever. And then Shrek memes thought they'd be clever and declared war, and we destroyed them the next week. So for April Fool's Day, the mods got together and they just swapped the subreddit. So anime memes became all about history memes, and the history page became all about anime memes. And the anime memes page they are always receptive to any memes. But the history folk were getting real mad. There was waifus all over their page. They were getting outraged. All in all, it was a good time poking fun at the war. But the dank memes subreddit was playing 4D chess. They did something insane. So 2 weeks ago, when it was first announced that it looked like Article 13 was going to pass and memes were going to get banned in Europe, the dank meme mods said, like, at risk of getting our subreddit banned, we don't want to deal with the EU, so we've decided we're just going to blanket ban everyone from the EU.
Whoa!
And I was like, what the fuck? And they just started handing out bans left and right. And then they started PMing everyone saying, hang tight, don't worry, you'll be back on the subreddit real soon, just don't say anything.
What
so
the hell?
April 1st rolls around, and they lock everyone from posting on the subreddit and post the rules up top saying, congratulations, you've been bamboozled. The only people who are now allowed to post on the subreddit are those who were banned for the fake EU banning. We've gone and split everyone who was banned onto 21 teams, and now they're going to play an equivalent of the Hunger Games, where all 21 teams are posting memes, and whichever team gets the most upvotes over the 24-hour period gets to put like a permanent flare on all of the users who are in the shittiest performing team. And they were just posting these meta memes, and none of the regular users couldn't post. These memes were absolute garbage. But it was really funny how this whole sub-meme culture devolved around this game. Like, within 2 minutes, everyone decided that Team 7 was gay, and that became the prevailing meme of the day.
Okay.
And it was a fun
Sounds like Reddit
experience. It was fun. It was way better than Reddit's actual, like, April Fool's project this year. It's like our
one?
sequence or something. So every year they do something cool. They did
Is it cool, Freeman?
This year's no. So 1 year they had like it was essentially the same thing. It was a war. You were split into two sides. One team won, one lost. But 2 years ago they did r/place, which was the coolest thing. It was every user is just. Or let's rewind. 3 years ago, it started when they did r/the button. When you click on the link on the front page, it brings you to this button and says, "Will you press it?" And if you click the button, you're now on the subreddit, and it gives you a color and a timestamp of how many seconds had passed between the last person pressing the button and yours. And that's when you realize there was a timer going on the button page to see how long the entirety of the internet could go before someone pressed the button. And if it went for a whole minute with no one pressing it, the game ended. So people were sitting there like waiting for the opportunity to like press the button like as close to 1 minute as possible. It became this huge thing of how long is it going to go, how many people are going to end up like at each stamp. I was part of the new squad that pressed it within 0.01 seconds because I didn't know what I was doing, and now I have to permanently live with that. But it was a fun experiment. The next year they did r/place, which was the coolest. They made this, I think it was like a 1,000 by 1,000 grid where every 5 minutes you can place a pixel of any color. And at first people were just like putting random stuff, and then subreddit started getting together and saying like, okay, like, 348 by whatever, that's going to be ours. Let's put a picture there. And everyone started drawing on this one giant canvas. And then you had some group saying, no, the bottom right corner needs to be entirely blue, and started taking over the corner. And one group was like, we're the void. We just put black dots everywhere and just take over spaces. And it was this insane thing that happened over 48 hours. And then last year they dropped the ball. They did a project called Circle of Trust, where the idea was you have a circle, you can invite any members to it, and they have the option to either spread the circle or betray you. And the question was, how big can we get a single circle without getting betrayed? And a bunch of trolls went and betrayed everyone, so no one made it that far. And it was a really shitty experiment. And this year it was I think it's r/sequence. I'm not sure if that's the right name, but they're trying to create a continuous movie only using user submitted GIFs, and it's bad because there's no coherency in what people selected. So this year's was terrible, and everyone just wants r/place again.
Womp.
And that's the history of Reddit. April Fool's jokes.
Yay.
Jesus. Just no.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I'm kind of over April Fool's a little bit.
Oh, I was an hour in, I was over it.
All right,
I
yeah.
didn't think it was that bad until I got to calm down and like go home and like see the smoldering freaking grass that
the
was
disaster that got left behind.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
So, speaking though of news that came out on the 1st that no one wanted to be real but was.
Surprise, this is not a joke.
Tyler, you're the one who's affected by this.
Because this actually kind of hurts me. Like, we were talking about this, and actually it's funny because my friends and I were talking about Borderlands 3, and we're talking about like, oh, this is gonna be cool. It looks cool because the announcement trailer came out last week, and like they introduced like what the new characters were gonna look like, a bunch of guns, and then like all the places that you'd go, and so we're all talking about it, and like we even joked around. We're like, it'd be funny if this was like an Epic Store exclusive, right? And we're like, nah, they wouldn't do some shit like that. They wouldn't do that. Like, come on, it's Gearbox. We not only did we call it in the worst way. Apparently, it's gonna be an Epic Store exclusive.
Yay!
Okay, no, this is epic.
This is a sad time,
I had to
Freeman.
make that terrible
Don't do
music.
this. This is sad. I am sad. I just like, I don't know. Like, I know I shouldn't be. It's like it's only like a thing, but like, come on, man. Like, this is just annoying. Now this is just bugging me. I feel like it's a little bit stupid or like trivial.
Well,
but I'm just like, shit, man.
See, but you read people's posts about how like there's like no real features on the store. Like, there's not a lot of social. The security is trash.
Aiden talked about his account getting hacked at least, was it twice already this year?
Someone
real?
actually, someone I saw a post where where someone said that apparently something that happened is people bought up or like found wherever there were like, because you can obviously see like there's been so many leaks of email addresses and stuff over the years.
Yeah, dude.
People would go sign up for accounts on the Epic Store or try to log in with Epic account or like use email addresses they would just do by the thousands to try to get people's Fortnite accounts and stuff.
Damn.
So there's already a decent chance, or at least a partial chance, that like an email address you would use has already been used to try to create a half-baked Epic Store account.
Epic Store account just for and it's like there's so many quality things that are just wrong with it, and the worst part is that they had all this time. If they really wanted to make like a quality platform for people to play games on, they had their chance to build the foundation when people were only getting UDK and Unreal 4 on it, but they didn't. Like, there's no like shopping cart. There's no secure way to do anything.
It's not ready to be the kind of store it's buying exclusives to be.
Yeah, like, yo, I would rather go to fucking Origin.
Mm-hmm.
There, I said it.
You're not wrong.
And someone told me today, I mean, I know they were trying to rustle my jimmies. They're like, Tyler, what if Cyberpunk 2077? I'm like, no, absolutely not. Number one, it'd be, if it were to be any exclusive, it would be GOG, and I would go there in a heartbeat.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah, I mean,
GOG
obviously
would
it's
never
gonna
pull
be...
that shit. No, I think they already announced it's also coming to Steam.
I feel like they did.
I'm pretty sure we
Yeah.
we might have even had, I don't think we had a story, but I'm pretty sure I saw a headline that said, hey, this is coming to Steam. Like, people asked them about it, especially with the Epic Store stuff, and they're like, no, this is coming to Steam at least.
You know why? Because those Polish blokes are top
I
notch.
fucking get it, dude.
They are top notch
Top
blokes.
lads.
Dude, I'll do the same thing I did with Witcher. I'll buy it on GOG, absolutely. I want to give them the money.
Oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, that's a good idea. I vote with my wallet, Tim.
Yep. That's look who you're talking to. I want to play Metro
Yeah.
right now. I'm not playing the new Metro game. I don't really care about Borderlands, I'll admit, but I
You know
would
what? If
still
they're
like
gonna
to play
sit
new
there-
Metro.
If they're gonna sit there and tell me that it's gonna be a year exclusive, guess what?
I
Even
can
though
wait.
I've been waiting for Borderlands 3. I can wait another year.
How many people
I
are
can wait.
gonna fucking oh man. You know, it'd be great if they open up pre-orders on the Steam versions of some of these things, and like the pre-orders on Steam end up being higher than the or over half of the all-time sales over the course of that year on the fucking Epic Store. That would just feel so good. Hey, look, there's Witcher right at the front page of Steam, right this second.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be getting Borderlands 3 when it comes out.
Well, or you
I'm
could
not,
just
even
buy it on a
though I've-
console. I mean, that's also not great, but you certainly could.
Yeah, you know what? I could buy it on a console. Well, you know what? I might end up doing that though, actually, because I have people that want me to play it with them. Like I have my cousin and
Yep.
some of his workmates I play with on PS4 sometimes, or I used to, and they were trying to sucker me into getting the Division, and I'm like, no. But they want me to play Borderlands with them, so I'm like, probably. But on PC, no, I'm definitely not. Just like, oh, you gotta get it on Epic. I'm like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Someone needs to just go talk to whoever's running the Epic Store and just bring in a boombox and play.
Well, isn't it that
The
CEO
Beatles
who
Can't
made
Buy
a bunch
Me
of
Love.
isn't it that CEO who made a bunch of dick comments?
Yeah,
Who runs,
that was
like
him.
the CEO of Epic was like a dick bag about it. Oh my god, it's like, come on, guys.
Come on.
Also, you can tell how successful Witcher 3's been because I went to the page and it's just auto playing the trailer on Steam, like that Steam trailer. Winner of over 250 awards. Then you go to the Steam homepage that's like updated currently. Over 800 awards won.
Oh, we convinced a coworker yesterday to
Oh,
try out Witcher.
yeah.
Because he's like, well, what's the Witcher? I'm like, and so we're like, yo, just whatever, like, just look it up. So he looked up a trailer, and he found the Blood and Wine trailer. The one where Geralt goes into the freaking barn and fights that, like, the succubus or whatever. And he's like, oh shit, this is dope. I'm like, yep, there you go.
And guess what?
It's over.
That's like 100 hours into the game.
Yeah, right.
Dude,
That's not even.
You know what? Looking back, last year was literally the year of Witcher and Yakuza 0. Those are like the 2 games for me over the course of 2018 that I put the fucking time into.
Yo,
I don't know.
Freeman,
That's one of those things
can
that
I
lasts.
spoil something about Witcher? I'm just gonna say one thing.
I don't want to get ruined because I do plan on playing it at some point.
Let's just say it was one of those, hey man, think fast, and like you can't wrap your head around this concept because you're like, wait, what are you asking me to do? And you do it, and you feel in the moment you feel disgusting, but then when it's all over, it turns out everything's okay. You made the right decision.
Wait,
Oh,
what the
no.
fuck? That's so generic. What are you even talking about?
Well, yeah, I gotta tell you.
At
Tim.
least message me then, because
I
I
will.
My headphones are off. Just start yelling when you're done, and I'll know to put my headphones back on.
Tyler,
Okay,
go quick.
when you toss the baby into the oven
For which quest?
for the quest, when you go to Skellige, right? And what's his face is having the nightmares because the thing is feeding off him. The Heim.
Oh, yeah. And then the trap door.
Yeah, and then she's like, "Quick, toss the baby in the oven." I'm like,
Yeah,
"Wait,
yeah,
what?"
yeah. Oh
Wait,
yeah.
what do you
Okay,
mean?
Freeman.
What do you mean? Yeah, go. All
Freeman.
right. All right.
That's like 50 hours. That's 50 hours right there.
Yeah, that's 50 hours into the game. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, it happens,
Yep.
and it doesn't give you time to think about it. You just have
Isn't
to
that one of
do
the
it.
only times in the games where you have like a timed decision to make?
No, that's like the 4th or 5th time I've had one.
Okay,
so
but it
far.
doesn't. If I remember correctly, it doesn't happen that much. Okay,
It doesn't happen
we're
much.
talking about a 140-hour game, and like maybe 10 times you have a quick time decision where you can't just. You're not just talking and going slow.
You gotta pay attention.
That was my problem going from Life is Strange to Life is Strange Before the Storm. The first Life is Strange, you can rewind any decision you want. You can sit there and wait like an hour to make your decision. Before the Storm, you have 6 seconds. That's it. You have 6 seconds on every decision.
99.9% of Witcher, that's how it is. Take as long as you want, but there's a few times where it's like, nah, you gotta make a decision.
There's a lot of times. So there's a side mission too, where it's like, oh hey man, like this thing has the best intentions. Actually, this happens a few times, right? And then you got to make a decision. Like, well, is this spirit or whatever really like malicious? Do they want something in return, or does this person, or are they just trying to kill their mark?
Are you going back to the island? I feel like you're talking about the island.
Yeah.
That we talked about, that I told you to take the right path.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is that. Yeah. But
I'm
then
glad
I
to hear
also
you made it.
referenced the other one.
Okay.
Where I made the wrong decision.
Whoops.
So all of a sudden you're like, and then like the job's done. You're like, oh man, another honest day's coin. And then as you walk away from the house, you walk into the house, the dude's dead. Oh shit.
Oh yeah. Man, Tyler, I'm glad to hear you're finally on Skellige though.
Yeah.
Dude, Skellige's actually pretty short if you just mainline that shit, but there's a lot of shit to do on Skellige.
Yeah.
You're like, let me hang out with all these Vikings.
Vikings.
Oh, man.
It's pretty close to Vikings. They're like it's you know what it's like? It's like not Hold Glade.
Dang, you know what?
It's an island. It's an island that's blockaded during a war, and they're like Vikings, and they're super tough, and they resist invasions a lot. It's the same fucking thing. It's not Hold Glade.
And they don't have like soldiers per se. They have hunters. Mainly, I mean, they do have soldiers, but like in the surrounding like areas, they don't have soldiers, like non. The places where they don't have jarls or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
They just have hunters that protect their village.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, shit.
Dude, I swear to God, Not Hold Glade got nothing from it. I'm not even kidding. That's why I was so excited. I just made that connection. But if we're talking about crossing the ocean, we should finally stop talking about Witcher when we're talking about Borderlands 3 exclusivity.
Yeah, take a trip back to Japanimationville.
It's time.
It's time.
We're leaving it open.
Go Weeeb. Shit, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. So there's a lot of follow-up news to last week. Unfortunately, Tim, you missed the announcement last week when I was talking about this show. But the English title, My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu,
All right,
better known
goodbye.
by
I'm done. Fuck
better
this.
known by its real name is Origairu, got its 3rd season announced last week. Everyone's super excited. I love the show. I can't wait to not understand what happened and then read essays online about what actually just happened. But they announced that the series itself is actually getting dubbed now. People are kind of iffy about it because everyone has a lot of catchphrases in this show. And if they don't translate them properly, we're all going to boycott the show. So that's the
Yeah, okay.
general opinion of how they're
boycott just means you're gonna watch the whole thing but be sullen about it.
So, story time, real quick. So, Steins Gate Zero is one of my favorite. Or sorry, Steins Gate the original is one of my favorite animes.
Yes. You tried to get me and Val to watch it, and we bounced off it hard.
And this one, I don't understand. I warned you guys. You got to watch to episode 10, or it's not worth the watch.
Oh, anyway, well, that's
this show is the definition of the slow burner. Once it picks up, it's full speed ahead. But there's the female character has this catchphrase where it's just this nonsensical phrase where she just says "tutudu," and they kept that in the dub, and it was fine. But then there's this one sequence where she's running up the stairs, and she says in English, "juicy chicken," and then something in Japanese. It just means "I can't wait to eat." And when they translate into English, I don't know what the fuck they thought they were doing, but they inserted this song, and everyone wanted to just like blow out their brains after hearing this. That was one of those iconic inside joke sequences to the fan community. Again, when the main character goes up to this black guy, and obviously this is Japan, so you can be as racist as you want. So instead of speaking in Japanese, this guy
Does he
goes,
speak in black?
He tries to talk in English, and he
God.
goes, and the main character's a mad scientist, so he goes up and in broken English goes, "Hey, mister, I am mad scientist. It's so cool, son of a bitch." And the guy looks at him, and he's just like, well, I speak Japanese. So in English,
Son of
like,
a bitch.
how do we do this without stepping on anyone's toes? So they had him speak in jive, so to speak. It was the worst thing I've heard. But if they can't keep these catchphrases correct, then all 6 weebs who are actually going to watch the dub, who saw the sub, are going to boycott it. So that's that.
Mm-hmm.
In terms of not boycotting, in fact, the exact opposite. Vans announced a partnership with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
What the fuck?
To produce some of their classic clothes with the strange stylings of the current Part 5 protagonists. Will have very unique appearances. And one of those includes not the JoJo of the season, but essentially the main character who's the leader of their group. His ability is to make zippers anywhere. So it's like a portal-esque ability.
My.
So what they did is they started just adding zippers onto their slip-on shoes, even though the zippers themselves do not do anything about the fit of the shoe on you.
What is this? From Kingdom Hearts? Like...
Yes, it is. And I was like, oh, these look pretty cool. And then I found out they sold out in minutes.
Of course they did, dude. Come on, anime fans. How much money do those stalls earn in... Oh, Freeman. That's where you're going to be able to buy it. Colossal Con.
Bullshit. There's no way they're going to have my size in the JoJo version.
Well, your size,
I have
yeah,
massive size 14 feet. No one ever has my shoes.
Yeah, you have even bigger feet than I do, but like that, someone will have like one pair on day one.
Yeah, and there's no way I'm going to be able to purchase that.
No.
But moving on, Sword Art Online Alicization, which was originally scheduled to go for 52 episodes, announced this week that they are taking a hiatus and they're going to come back with the second half. I really feel like they didn't plan on doing this because I just saw the finale last night, and oh lord, did they end on the cliffhanger of all cliffhangers. I don't know how the fuck they expect us to wait 6 months for the second half.
They wait 6 months, okay.
The temptation just like read the novels from this point on is killer, and I hate this.
I can't do that.
So believe
Don't
what
be
you may
like-
about Sword Art Online, but this season of Sword Art has been absolutely insane, and I love it.
I mean, you've said that every week. I believe you. I just don't want to watch all the other shit.
This is for all of this week's brand new listeners, all 1.3 of you.
I think you added a 1 to that by accident.
All 0 of you. Go watch Alicization. It was really good. And then in 6 months, you'll get to hear me flip out about it again. But I can't wait. This is too bad of it. This is a terrible cliffhanger. Anyway, moving on.
Man, imagine if you were watching Overlord and the last season was also big cliffhanger, and then your friend was like, "Fuck you, this show's not getting a sequel."
Damn.
So I sent this picture to Luigi. It was one of these shows that we watch. This is not. This is a show for men of culture. It's called High School of the Dead, famous for its
Yes.
bullet time boob jiggle
Yes.
sequence. That show ended, and OVA came out, which was just like the beach episode, and then it ends with "See you all again in season 2." That never happened. The author died.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Yes, that all those things happened, but it
All
was
those things did
in
happen.
that order. First, season 2 never happened, and then the author died. But it's
One would say that he died because season 2 never happened.
it's stuff like that that makes me accept the fact when a show ends and I don't know if there's another season. But knowing that they're like, oh, by the way, here's this unplanned six month break for the next episode, that rustles my jimmies. Like when they split Food Wars season 3 in half, I was so annoyed. And again, when they did it with Attack on Titan season 3, I was so annoyed. I can't take this shit. Either just tell me right from the get go you're doing it split, or just stop telling me you're doing these 26 to 52 episode runs. I can't deal with this.
My heart can't take it.
I can't take it. But what I can take is the dumbest fucking anime in the universe getting its special episode aired. So I talked a lot about it when it was coming out. Pop Team Epic. This is the show where the first 12 minutes are filmed with 2 brand new female voice actors every week playing the main 2 characters. And then for the second half, they just literally re-air the episode, but instead they have male voices doing the 2 female characters. And some of the jokes are altered because they let the actors like ad-lib some parts. So they come out with a special episode. And oh boy, is this a special episode. So instead of being a 12-minute half, it's a full 22-minute half. And then it's duplicated again, different, completely different voice actors and actors than before. But then they just aired the same episode 3 more times with 3 additional sets of 2 female and 2 male actors. So this is now the equivalent
so hilariously
of watching
terrible.
like
God.
16 episodes of an anime in a row, but it's the same episode with different voices and slightly altered jokes every time.
I just wish I understood why you still watch this.
Because it's funny. I'm not going to watch it. I'm not going to watch it back to back and then 3 more times. I'm going to just watch the male voice half of the first episode, just because the male voices are always way funnier on these female characters, and I'm just going to watch it a single time. If any of you are real
Men of
masochists,
cultures. No.
real men of
I was
culture
gonna
hours,
say real something.
you can watch this. I highly do not recommend it, but I do recommend
I
watching.
highly do
Pop
not
Team Epic
recommend it.
watching, and then picking one of these 4 special episodes, and then proceeding to watch only the first or second half of it. That's your watch guide. But Pop Team Epic is one of those. It's like it's a surreal comedy show. It's bizarre, but I love it.
Is it
moving.
also an adventure?
I wouldn't call it an adventure. It's
Bizarre. JoJo's
get the
Bizarre.
fuck. I already did my JoJo
Oh,
news. Get
shit.
out of here.
Oh,
Oh my
it
wow.
was me, Dio.
It was me.
God damn it! You thought it was a segue. Anyway, Studio. How do they pronounce it? They call themselves
UFO
Ufotable,
table.
but I always pronounce it UFO table because that makes way more sense.
UFO
That's how I
table.
always say it too. Yeah.
Because so in Japanese, instead of saying UFO, they say UFO to refer to a UFO. Anyway, Studio Ufotable, who is famous for animating the
Ufotable.
Fate franchise, including the Fate Stay Night, Heaven's Feel movie series that's coming out right now. They were recently charged with tax fraud, as it was revealed the president of the company has 0 split between his personal finances and the finances of the studio, and he's just basically not paying taxes on either.
Oh boy.
So this is getting all messed up right when they're like getting ready to release their last movie. No one knows what's going on. I really hope Ufotable doesn't actually like go under as result of this. They're probably one of the best looking anime studios that actually does action sequences. Like, I'll put Kyoto Animation up there as like one of the best animators, but they don't do action sequences anymore. Now, Ufotable, they do action
Foldable
sequences.
UFO table.
UFO table, they know what they're doing, and I'm very excited to watch all 3 Heaven's Feel movies once they're finally on Blu-ray here. But we'll see if they survive this. But speaking of survival, one of the best shows this season, I keep saying that on every fucking show, Promised Neverland. This is one that I hyped up going into the season. This is one that I've recommended to literally everyone. I think Luigi just finished it last night, so we were talking about it. But the first season of Promised Neverland ended. It had an amazing finale. I gave this show a 10 out of 10. This has like a good blend of action, mystery, intrigue, and better yet, it had a like semi-conclusive finale with the direct announcement of a season 2 continuation next year. So with that, I wholeheartedly recommend it to literally both of you and all 1.35 of our listeners. Go watch Promised Neverland and get excited for season
2. We should probably watch that.
It was really good. Luigi and I both think that you and Val would enjoy it. The best way to describe it is take Death Note, but get rid of the dark and edgy vibe, but keep the same air of like cat and mouse game. I'm not sure if that's a good way to describe it, but whatever. Don't read any descriptions of it. The first episode gives you the entire premise of the show, so don't get spoiled.
Is it one of those things where, like, is it okay for me to watch just the first episode and I would probably get
yes.
hooked? Or...
Yes, the first
or if
episode...
I didn't like the first episode, then I probably won't like the rest of the show.
It's probably... It doesn't change tone too much after the first one, but the thing is, and I'm going to warn you.
Okay.
The main character's faces can look a little derpy at times.
Uh-oh.
It's like imagine you took a normal person's face, but then you took the mouth and you moved it up about half the distance it is from the nose currently. And that's what everyone looks like. Their mouths are just way too close up to their noses, and it just makes everyone look kind of goofy looking. Let me see if I can find a good looking screenshot. They all look really cool in the manga. Alright, if this image... Alright, here we go. I dump this in Discord?
Can you?
I'm trying to. This
There's a
URL's
link.
not... Is it loading
notice.
at all?
Redirect notice. Whoops.
Okay, this is not loading correctly.
I see. Oh wait, no, I forgot. I watched like 2 episodes of this for you.
Oh, did you not like it?
No, I do. I just keep forgetting that this is the anime.
Yes.
Because when I watched it,
what did you think of the first episode?
So I didn't watch the first episode.
What? Wait. So you just watch random episodes in the middle?
Well, yeah, kinda. So I was at my buddy's house, and he's like, "We're watching this anime." I'm like, "Aight." And so he threw this on.
Oh,
and
no.
I could tell you what I saw, but I was kind of pissed that I saw it because it was I would say it's a pretty integral part to the entire season.
Oh, Jesus. No, you spoiled it for yourself.
Because I watched, I was like, oh, I feel like I wasn't meant to see this until a very certain part. I'll message you what I saw.
All right.
But
I'm
yeah,
curious.
no, I like this show. It's an interesting concept.
It's not like other shows.
No. I think that's what got me, like, I wanted to, actually, it's one of those, oh, I'll check that out, and then I forgot about it kind of deal.
Yeah,
if that makes
you and Val
sense.
got to get on this. But
It's good.
Let's close out the Weeb shit really quick. So I was talking about Steins Gate earlier. It looks like to celebrate the game's 10th anniversary, they just announced there will be 10 new Steins Gate related projects. This terrifies me because
What?
Because Steins Gate Zero was the anime adaptation of the prequel visual novel that came out, and while the anime was good, they did that thing where they try and squeeze all the different alternate routes into a single storyline, and it becomes a little incoherent. And it negatively impacted the anime because they just wanted to throw something out there. And I'm concerned they're about to do it 10 times over. So I have no clue what this is going to be. I'm actually very afraid that they're going to butcher the franchise. But we'll see what happens. That said, Steins Gate original, 10 out of 10, go watch.
Still good.
But that's it for the Weeb shit. How are we doing on time?
We are over an hour. Do we want to just kind of end it kind of early this week, or do we want to try to shoot for a topic?
Listeners, you know I love talking to you, but I'm kind of cool with ending a little early tonight.
Yeah, I'm pretty okay with that too. Who knows? Maybe we could finally play video games for the first time in a million years.
Maybe.
No, I know.
Everyone's like, I mean,
Tyler, maybe we could play video games.
I'll play video. I mean, I got a new mouse, so I mean,
Oh, nice.
Nice. What'd you get?
I mean, it's not really new. It's
New for
Aiden's
you.
old mouse.
Well, what is it?
It's a Death Adder.
Yes.
It's a chroma this time, though.
Hell yeah. If they had that RGB.
Ooh.
Yeah. I kind of wish I could sync up the colors to my headset, though. That'd be kind of dope.
What brand is your headset?
SteelSeries.
There you go. That's the
Ooh.
problem.
But
I wish
also,
there was just like a universal standard that all of these companies use.
All right, but I mean, I also have a Razer. What's it called?
Black Widow?
The Kraken. No, I have the
Oh,
Kraken.
yeah.
Oh, the headset. Yeah, I
Yeah.
have the only reason why I'm using these SteelSeries is because man, they're just like really comfortable.
Yeah, I liked my Steel Series. Right now I have Hyper X, I think. Yeah. I just took them off and looked at them.
I think I might like the Krakens a little bit more though in terms of a headset, only because the leather's really easy to clean. It's comfortable, like as comfortable as it gets. Also, it's like a very sturdy headset,
Mm-hmm.
all for $100. So like, it wasn't that bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Nah, SteelSeries has been screwing up their Siberia series for a while, so I got one from them. It was a piece of shit, and I gave up. Now I'm on some Corsair headsets.
Damn. I looked into those briefly because I like have the Corsair tower and like a Corsair keyboard.
I mean, I
Yeah,
got
I
like
have
the
a
basic
Corsair
one.
tower.
There's no like RGB sync required here.
Yeah, right.
Alrighty, well, I guess we should just move to closing, since we are to the weeks that have been and are coming.
Yeah.
I'll start, I guess. Last week had one of the best double features of anime in history. Not anime, animated movies in history.
I was gonna say,
Fucking
weed smoking.
no. Well, I mean this. I mean, the second movie is as close to anime, and the first one's literally anime. My Hero Academia 2 Heroes Blu-ray and Into the Spider-Verse Blu-ray showed up within one day of each other, so that was one night, then the next. That was a solid 48 hours of movie watching. Not much else. I finally figured out the time, for those of you who watch and are interested in joining, the Sins of a Solar Empire Rebellion live stream that I talked about in the Let's Play. Technically, the episode came out a few hours before the podcast episode does, but it is going to be April 10th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Sins Rebellion, don't need any DLC or anything on the Steam version, is going to be my live stream. Yay. Because Leslie's game is supposed to be continuing in D&D, so Wednesday night's going to be free. So, Tyler, we're probably going to hang out tomorrow night.
Yeah, we probably will. I might
I
have
haven't been
some.
updated that's happening, so I hope it's still happening.
Oh, I
No,
have
she's
Val
spoilers, she's
info.
prepping.
Yeah, Val confirmed that as of 2 hours ago, that was the plan.
Man, me and Luigi need to be in the loop on this shit.
You're correct, but that's not our problem because we're not
That's
in the
not our problem. We're gonna be playing games tomorrow.
We're gonna be playing Rainbow Six, and you guys are gonna hear me yelling on fucking Val's Discord downstairs.
Oh my god.
Which should be working much better than the last session you guys did. What else? I've been playing more Neo. I've just been grinding that game out, doing side missions. That game's still really fun. I have honestly no fucking clue how far I am in that game. Like, I just don't know how long that game is. But I'm having fun. I'm doing a lot of side missions off cam. I'm basically doing every side mission off camera, and only the main missions on camera, and it's working out really well. I'm pretty sure my build is crap, but whatever. I don't even care. It's like Dark Souls. Everything's technically viable if you're not an idiot. What else? Sins is done with the game. I think I have an idea for the Sins series to continue. I did one faction. I did the Advent. I think I'm going to do a game as the other two factions along with the live stream, and that'll be the Let's Play for Sins, because I've been enjoying it, and I really want to get a little more Sins time in. What else? I'm trying to think. I really haven't been playing that much else. It's just been busy with Val recovering still and everything. Still watching Twilight Zone on Netflix, the old school stuff, because the new thing came out yesterday. I didn't get to watch the new one yet, but I've heard mixed to good things about the new Twilight Zone so far. But
I heard they're redoing. So I've seen a couple episodes, but my favorite one is the one with William Shatner on the airplane,
oh yeah, that's the classic. Everyone knows that one. Yeah.
and they're remaking it for this one. So I'm excited to see how they do it.
That was one of the 2 new ones, I think. Terror at 30,000 Feet.
Wait, it's
That
already
is a
it's already been
classic.
done.
Well, so the new show started yesterday, and it's on CBS's streaming service, which is why I still haven't watched it. I got to figure out
Okay.
how I'm gonna watch it.
Yo ho, yo
Yeah,
ho.
probably. If that even still is a thing, I don't know. It seems like it's harder and harder to find stuff these days. But I really want to watch it because it's been really fun watching the old series. Like, oh, what was last night? Like the old series, it was such a simple episode. I said it before, and I'll just keep saying it. The Twilight Zone is so good at doing so much with so little and just ideas. Oh shit! No, that was last week. I thought we saw Captain Marvel since last time because I'm just trying to think of stuff I've done. Really, it's been boring. Yeah, and looking ahead, Sin's live stream next week. Other than that, really not much too special going on. Just still trying to get the house in order. I got another shipment of Magic cards I'm getting ready to sell. So yeah, not much going on. Tyler, I know you at least did a thing the other day.
Oh, what did I do? I don't remember.
You saw the movie?
Oh, Us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw Us. Sorry, I was like spaced out for a second. I won't lie. Yeah, no, I saw Us.
What'd you think?
So it was actually kind of weird. You know how like we see movies and we talk about it, and the more we talk about it, the more we're like, man, maybe that movie just sucked.
Damn.
This is kind of like the no. This is actually the opposite. Because I left thinking, I'm like, man, this movie was not a 10. And then like the more I think about it, I was like, I've been thinking about this movie for like 2 straight days now. Maybe it's better than what I think. And so it's not a perfect 10 in my eyes, but I think it's pretty good. I think from a film standpoint, like if you're really into like cinematography and like how movies are set up, I think it's a really good example of how
it's technically well made.
It's technically well made, and the story serves its purpose. Like the story is like whatever, right? And it's like, oh yeah, that's not the point of the story. Like the point of the movie, whatever. All right, fine, that's fine. However, there are some things that happen in the movie that I can't get over in terms of the rules to certain things, like world wise, like world building wise,
in world rules, kind of.
Yeah, in world rules and how things happen throughout the movie, there are a lot of holes and there are a lot of things that aren't explained.
That
and yeah,
I have heard.
People will bash me and like, oh, Tyler, it's not about like, okay, yeah, like that's fine, and I'm a fan of those things, like of omitting certain information, right? But like, you have to give me all the clues first to some questions, so like a perfect example, like I've listened to these 2 guys, or not 2 guys, but Red Letter Media. You might be familiar with them, Tim.
I've heard of them. I never actually watched any of their stuff, but I have definitely heard of them.
But yeah, so they reviewed the movie and they did a really good example where it's like, okay, like the Dawn of the Dead movies, right? Or just Dawn of the Dead or or Night of the Living Dead. It's like, okay, for a fact that these are like undead, that you can only kill them by shooting them in the head or just destroying their head. But you don't need to know why they come out of the freaking thing. All you know is that they're lifeless things and whatnot. Like, you have all the questions that need to be answered, except that one important one. I don't know if that makes sense. Like, it gives you just enough, right? But Us does so many things. It's almost like, well, why does this work? Like, why does it doesn't make sense? It's like, how come you're allowed to do this here but not this over here? Like, what makes this part of the movie different than what so and so did earlier? If that makes sense, if that makes it a little bit clearer. Yeah,
That
so
does.
Yeah, that's just what I didn't like. But as far as the character writing goes, the other continuity bits like that is just fantastic. The talent, oh man, the talent was so good. Like all the actors and actresses that were in this, like they just kind of made it. And I would say that's like partially because of their talent and and directing that made it really well.
Hmm.
Yeah, and so the more I kind of thought about it though, the more I was like, okay, I kind of like this movie. And yeah, I would recommend it to people to go see it if they're into that horror shtick. Sorry, I just kind of went on a rant there.
No, it's fine. That's
It's
the whole
fine,
point.
we
It's
asked
like a
you.
movie review. Yeah.
Yeah, because I was talking to a bunch of people about it, like how I felt, because that's what the thing, right? Like everybody's asking, like, oh, because all the reviewers that are on Rotten Tomatoes gave it 100,
Yeah.
and so everybody's like
Really?
trying to get, oh yeah,
This is
actually
reviewing very well, Freeman.
it's like extremely well. The other question I also get to is, do you like this or Get Out better? And I hate trying to compare it, but like I can't help myself to it, and I gotta say I like Get Out a lot better.
Hmm.
Um, like if you gave me two options whether to pick either one, I'd probably pick Get Out first.
Uh-huh.
Um, as where Us is a lot more visceral and like I would say gritty. Get Out is like I said, it feels more complete and interesting to me to like
Mhm.
see the journey of this character go, I guess.
Gotcha.
So that's it. That's my verdict. You guys should see it if you're into that.
I still
Well,
need to watch Get Out.
I'm not super into it, but I can appreciate that it's supposed to be really good.
Yeah. Well, yeah, listeners or whoever, if you're into the horror stuff, or if you're into cinematography,
Mm-hmm.
if you're into that kind of stuff, I would recommend it. I would also recommend Get Out. I like it has the same amount of like the same caliber character writing, and like it's all good. It's all like it's some of the best character writing I've ever seen in a movie, hands down. And it's weird to see that paradigm shift because Jordan Peele was in, he did Key and Peele.
Key and Peele.
How you go from I said bitch to like this like high caliber like just like horror thriller stuff.
Dude,
Like it's interesting.
apparently Jonah Hill is doing similar things. Like I don't know what he's actually done, but I just saw a headline about how he's like trying to get into directing more and more serious stuff after he was in Superbad as his first big thing.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah,
he
I
did
saw
a
that.
couple of things though recently. They didn't really take off. Well, he did something in Netflix. He like helped with a Netflix show, and he was in a
Well, unless you're the top 1% of Netflix shows, you're basically shit, so
Wait, are you talking
True.
about? You're talking about the one that
With what's her face in
like
it?
Friends from College?
No, with Gwen Stacy. What's her face? I feel bad because like I think she's hot.
But you don't know her name.
No, I'm stupid right now. Hold on, I need cast. The hell is it? Emma Stone. Yeah, Emma Stone was
oh,
in it.
that name.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I don't know. I don't remember the show, but whatever. I don't know if that did good or not. And
yeah, I
I can
don't know.
just I don't know. You want me to talk about my week?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Now that I went on
That's
about
why
that,
we're
let
here.
me tell you more about myself. So Aiden bought me Sekiro.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god.
So
So you kept playing Witcher 3. Got it.
No, yeah, no, I told him. So I humored him a little bit today, and I played more of it. And man, I gotta say, this combat's pretty great.
I'm
Like
just
it's
so
pretty
nervous.
top notch.
Wait,
Oh,
did
you
you
should
watch
be.
the donkey video on it?
Oh, did I watch the donkey video
Yeah.
on it? Oh yeah, of course.
Okay.
Actually, it's funny. I watched Aiden get to that monkey part.
Oh man.
Like, and then immediately after that, like that night, I watched the donkey video, and I saw Donkey versus that monkey. I was like, oh no, oh no, like it's funny. But the game is really good. It reminds me less of a Dark Souls game and more of like a Tenchu game. If you guys remember those games at all.
I don't know them, but that name has been really thrown a lot around Sekiro.
Yeah, because like it's a lot of like you have the option to stealth, right? You like go through grass, like you can like distract people.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can go through areas, and it's up to you how you want to tackle it. Like most of the guys, if able, you can stealth kill them
Mm-hmm.
or knock off like half their health.
Interesting. So it does support just playing it stealthy and not just
Yeah.
ramboing your way through the game.
Yeah, it also takes a lot of precision. Like a lot of precision. Actually, Tim,
Mm-hmm.
if you want anything that any sort of like comparison, the fighting in The Witcher or any other kind of game that has like a parry mostly, but like so far I found it like The Witcher's like when you box people, like unarmed combat, where you want to time the hits, and then when they're like partially stunned, then you go for the hit. It's something like that. That's what the combat's like. It's a lot like that. It's a lot of sword play, a lot of timing, and you have to be very precise. So yeah, that I'm playing that.
See,
game.
I feel like I was the worst at timing in which I feel like I'm always bad. I feel like I just suck at those games where you need to do really precise moves. I don't know.
I think because I don't know, like I'm okay at them. I want to say partially because I play a lot. Like I played an instrument in real life, and I played a lot of rhythm games.
Yeah.
Like growing up, like I play a lot of Guitar Hero, a lot of Rock Band, like all that other stuff. And so I don't like in The Witcher, like I'm level 20, but like the boxing rings are like level 30. I'm whooping their ass.
Mm-hmm.
If you can do that, then you can.
I mean, I won the boxing, but I'm pretty sure I just kind of cheesed it out.
Yeah, you can cheese them. You can cheese them, but like if you truly don't want to get fucking hit in those things, you have to learn how to parry.
Well, that's the thing. I just don't know how terrible I am at parry.
Yeah,
I'm just so
these
nervous
gameplay
about
videos-
playing Sekiro and doing terrible.
These
You
gameplay
should.
videos look so fun, but I like, can already tell I'm gonna hate this game.
Like I watched a
I don't-
video on I watched a fucking video, unfortunately it was from IGN, where one of their guys beat the first boss that you're supposed to lose to, but he actually did the beat the first boss thing. And I'm just like I just hear clang, 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 and then like one tiny poke, clang, 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 one tiny poke, and I'm like,
Yeah,
God, do I have it in me to to do that?
dude, it's hard.
I know, that's what it seems like. I
hard
just,
game. Do you have what it takes to become Master Shinobi? Anyway. I'm playing that. I'm playing more Witcher though. Like I'm pretty invested. I'm still reading the book, Time for Contempt.
yeah.
I'm about like a little bit over halfway through it. I'm at the party, Tim, just for your reference.
Is that, you mean the one where you take your girl?
Yeah, wait, take my
What?
girl? Oh, no,
Wait.
no, sorry. I'm in the book.
Oh, right.
In the
Sorry.
book, yeah,
At the party.
in the book. And then where he fucking breaks Dijkstra's like leg.
Wait, fuck. You're not. When you say party, you mean like the party where everything.
Infanted,
Yeah,
where
where
everything goes to shit after.
Yeah. I don't think of that as a
Yeah.
party. I think of that as the turning point of fuck everything. Like
Nah, man, that's the part. That's a
Tyler,
party.
you have
That's a
literally
real party.
you have like half a chapter of everything being perfect, and then immediately everything goes so downhill.
Listen, it's not a Viking like anything unless a few people are dead, alright?
They're not Vikings there. That's the school for
Hey.
girls. Or
My
no.
statement stands.
Yeah, it's a school for young girls, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, a league for extraordinary men. I got
oh my
you.
god.
Anyway, I'm
Freeman.
playing that,
Okay.
and then I'm going to fishing opening day apparently. So we'll
What's
see how that goes.
You mean like fishing?
like actual fishing,
Oh, okay.
where you go out with
Nice.
a fishing pole and you try to catch fish. You know, like middle-aged white folk. It's gonna be nice.
Oh my god.
Like middle-aged white.
Yeah, dude, it's gonna be good. Yeah, Freeman, what are you doing? That's what I'm doing. What are you doing?
So what am I doing? Well, first of all, I'm actually seeing Captain Marvel on Sunday. It's finally gonna happen. So
Alright.
we can talk about girl power next week again. Even
Cool.
though no, we're not. Outside of that, a lot of D&D this week. In terms of Weeeb shit, I'm finishing up a couple shows. Fuck, my fish. Kaguya-sama Love is War. I'm watching the last episode probably tonight or tomorrow. That show definitely got way better in its second half, and I'm
Really?
sad to see that it's ending now. Like, it took to like maybe episode 4 or 5 before it really hit its stride and figured out like how it wanted to pace its jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Once it did, it was great. So I'm sad to see it go. It's one of those shows where it was super popular, so like everyone's just like, yeah, season 2 is a definite. It's going to happen at some point. But I've been in this field long enough to know that nothing's a given. So I'm sad to see it go. I really want to see it come back. I'm about 2/3 of the
Did
way
they
done
announce
with
a second season?
of what, Kaguya?
Yeah.
No, they
Is that-
haven't.
okay, I'm mixing up the second season things. Never mind. Keep going.
Yeah, no. I'm almost done with Quintessential Quintuplets. I know Luigi finished it and he liked it. The show is, I don't want to call it garbage, but it's every harem anime is like this. It's doing it better than most, and I'm enjoying it. But at the same time, I'm not going to call this a masterpiece by any stretch of the mind. But it's all very enjoyable. I'm almost done with season 1 of Kakegurui also, because I had a marathon with 2 of my buddies on Friday.
Do you think I should wait until it? So wait, you finished the first season.
No, we still have 4 more episodes, but we're
All right,
getting
let me
close.
know when you finish that first season.
Oh, like, so you want to know if you should jump in and watch it?
No, because I finished the first season. Remember?
Yeah, I know. But what is your question about whether you?
Oh,
should...
I thought for a second I thought you said you finished the second season.
Oh no.
I was like, oh no, wait, no, he's just talking about the first season. Okay.
No, one of my friends really likes dubs. We're continuing it dubbed instead of switching over to subtitles.
No.
So we don't have the choice to sail the 7 seas for season 2. We're gonna have to wait for the official Netflix release.
Because I did try it on both. I tried on sub and dub, and I'm like, nah, I'll take it. I'll take it sub.
So I'm pissed I'm not watching it sub just because I think that the class president is voiced by my favorite voice actress Miyuki Sawashiro. So I'm really upset I'm not watching that sub because of that. That's it for anime land. In terms of games, I'm playing a lot of Overwatch for no reason. I don't know why. I'm digging it again.
It's good.
Huh.
It's fine.
Everyone's playing that new healer, which means I can finally play a DPS. And I just learned how shitty I am at DPS. So I gotta learn that. But that's it for me. What about you, Tim?
I started this off, Freeman.
Yeah,
We've
he
just been going
started
for
it.
a while. We're already
Yeah.
20
around
minutes
the
into
circle
closing.
again.
Let's just keep going.
What else are you doing?
What did you forget to mention the first time? It's been so long. Can we
Sorry,
circle back?
I distinctly remember you talking about your past week, but for some reason I couldn't remember what you said you were going to do. So
Because
I'm
I
like,
don't
I
have
guess
that
Tim
much. Like, I'm gonna play the same 2 games I've been playing. None of us have really been hanging out that much because Tyler's a punk and Freeman's busy. No.
You're correct.
Well, hold on. Just to clarify, the Sundays that we had potentially roped off, starting next Sunday is Throne Sunday, so that's already out the window.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure something out.
God, I don't even care about Thrones until I watch it again.
You don't care about
What do you
Thrones.
mean?
Until
A new
I
trailer
watch
came
it
out
again.
today.
I've been waiting forever for this.
A
Fuck
new
Hero
trailer came
Academia.
out
I
today.
Yeah,
want
guess
Throne.
what? It's been so long that a lot of the hype's died down. I know it's gonna come back. I just said it's gonna come back when I watch the show, but my God, has it died down a lot.
I watched 1 episode and I got back into it.
I'm sure.
all it took. No,
Never
I mean,
mind.
like I'm saying, I caught part of an episode this weekend and it was enough to get me excited again.
I believe
So
it.
all I'm saying is just go watch
No,
something, build up the hype. Don't go in frosty.
Yeah, there's really not much coming up. Although after the podcast, we need to talk to Tyler because Freeman, we and Luigi talked about Colossal Con, and Tyler has not in a while.
Wait, is that
I guess
the thing you guys are going out for?
yeah, that you said you'd go out for.
Oh yeah, when is that?
And first weekend in June. It's like the June into May weekend.
Oh yeah, I could probably do that.
Yeah, I know. You are going to do that because
Damn.
Luigi are coming. You don't have to be part of the group cosplay, though.
Oh, thank you for considering me because I was not going to.
That's okay. We're going to do Food Wars, and there's not that many guy characters in it that are good enough anyway.
What do you mean? I'm going to be that pink-haired dude. I'm just going to
That's
show
Friedman's guy. What the fuck?
Oh, what? Oh, you're just going to show up to the friggin'... No, I'm talking about the guy in the dorm who, like, only wears an apron.
Oh, the
He's
senpai.
not pink
Okay.
hair.
Yeah.
That's like...
Oh, I thought he had pink hair.
Oh, no, he's got brown hair.
No, the guy with the
he's
pink
got
hair is
brown
the
hair?
French
Yeah.
smug asshole.
Yeah, the French dude. That's
yeah, that's
right,
Freeman's
yeah.
guy.
Yeah, no, I'm just going to show up in an apron, all right?
Yeah, so my buddy Dave did that for 2 years at Anime Next, and it's always a hoot.
It's always a hoot.
No, but I was going to say, I mean, I don't think anyone listening is going to go or anything, but, you know, if anyone listening is going to Colossal Con in near Cleveland in Ohio, me and Freeman and Luigi and my girlfriend and possibly Tyler are all going to be there hanging out. Me and Freeman and Luigi are going to spend at least some time playing Magic in the gaming room, but
I got to figure out if and how much time we're going to do Water Park for. So
yeah, we got to figure all that.
Learn there's separate tickets for that.
We're going to figure it all out for sure. Thankfully, the hotel's booked, which was the most important thing. But yeah, if anyone's going, I'm probably going to, if anyone has any interest, I could probably post our itinerary on Twitter like I've done at Comic-Con and seen nobody before, so... But that's okay. I know lots of people don't have enough money to go to conventions, because I certainly don't. That's why we're going to one this year. That's it. But either way, I think we're going to call it here for the podcast. So thank you all very much for listening. My name's Timpedia.
I'm Friedman.
I'm just Tyler.
And we will catch you guys next week. Thanks for listening.